Greetings, guys, girls, non-binary pals, and welcome back to another video. I recently came across a TikTok that absolutely shattered my heart into a million pieces, and it inspired me to make a video about it and the whole sort of revolving idea around it. And that is fathers who really should not be fathers. It is men who disrespect their partners after pregnancy, after giving birth. It is just men who really need to be thrown away. They do not deserve their partners, they do not deserve their kids, and thus the title of this video, Throw the Whole Dad Away. I just wanted to talk about this because it really upset me and then it started making me mad. And when I get upset and mad, I come here and I make it all of your problem as well. But before I do get into it, I would like to say a massive thank you to today's patron of the day, River. I appreciate you and your support so much, so thank you so much for joining. If anyone else would like to become a patron, you go to patreon.com/SavvyCat or click the link in the description. It is currently 25% off because it is my 25th birthday and I wanted to celebrate that with you in some way. So if you would like 25% off your first month on any tier on my Patreon, then you can use the code BIRTHDAY25, all caps. I appreciate that and I hope to see you over there. You get a whole bunch of different perks, including for the lowest price of only £1, my videos a day early and without ads. So if you're interested in that, plus a bunch more, please do go check it out. Speaking of websites you can visit, I would like to have a little conversation. If you are anything like me, you have received enough spam calls and text messages to last you a lifetime, and you are absolutely fed up and sick of it. If that is the case, then you will be pleased to hear me tell you all about today's video sponsor, Aura. How many times when you open a website does it ask you to accept cookies? Most of the time, right? Like almost every time. And so many of those times, it doesn't even give you an option to select essential cookies or not accept them at all. You have to accept all cookies just to sort of navigate the website. And also, how many times are you accepting terms and conditions without reading all of the terms and conditions? Or even if you did, it doesn't really let you not accept the terms and conditions. Like you literally can't do anything without accepting the terms and conditions. Well, a lot of the time when you are allowing those things, you are giving permission to the website to store and sell your information to data brokers who then profit off of continuing to sell your information. This can lead to so many scams, as well as in more serious cases, identity theft. But with Aura, you do not have to worry about that. Aura will automatically opt you out of selling your information from these sites with just one simple click, and then legally they have to stop selling that information. And on top of stopping all of that pesky and sometimes honestly quite scary scam stuff that you will be receiving, Aura also offers a VPN service that utilizes military-grade encryption to protect your internet and also blocks dozens of known scam and phishing websites. And you can get all of this and more within just one app, which is incredible and saves you so much time and money from having to go to any other places to get the same things. The internet can be a scary and unknown place, but with Aura, you can start to feel safer and more secure in all of your internet needs and not have to worry about your identity or any of your information being stolen at any point. I am not leaving myself and my family vulnerable to data breaches and brokers. And if you don't want to either, you can go to aura.com/kiwi and get your first 2 weeks completely free. That will be enough time for Aura to find out if any of your data is being exposed and needs protecting. So thank you so much, Aura, for sponsoring today's video. Please don't forget to check them out at aura.com/kiwi. Keep yourself safe. It's a scary world out there. All right, let's get into the video. Let us start with the first TikTok that I came across, and we can all have our hearts broken together and plan to off a man.
Birth, postpartum, none of that is a spectator sport, and the women need to be able to make choices. I still can't talk about the postpartum period without ugly crying. It was at the end of a horrendously bad pregnancy. We're talking antenatal psychosis, My organs were failing. Both my daughter and I nearly died during the actual birth. I had asked my ex-husband, then husband, for 2 days. 2 days without visitors because I was not okay. I needed time.
2 days without visitors after nearly dying seems like a perfectly reasonable request. That seems honestly like she's asking for too little. I think that the least you can ask for after a horrible, nearly death experience throughout an entire pregnancy and then birth as well is as much time as you need in bed without, any visitors. And having the full love and care and support of your partner. I think that 2 days is like bare minimum. You deserve so much more time than that. You deserve as much time as you like, and your partner should take care of you completely. You shouldn't even have to get out of bed unless you need to like pee or whatever you need to get out of bed for. Like, you should have the full support and being looked after by your partner. That is how that should go. And I think that is the least you can ask for. 2 days with no visitors should be the easiest thing in the entire world to accomplish and should be done without a second thought. And yet, here we are watching this video. So let's see what happened, shall we?
He agreed, said it was fine, related to families, said it was fine. I went to take a nap, I think that afternoon, and when I came down the stairs, his entire family was sitting in our family room. Me, covered in dried milk, blood pouring out of me because I had hemorrhaged. And I needed time, and instead I got his entire fucking family sitting in my family room after I had begged because I needed time.
This is horrific. Like, this level of betrayal is astounding. Asking your partner, the person who is supposed to be supporting you, to do the simplest of things and to just respect the fact that you have just almost died giving birth, that your child just almost died. And instead of listening to that wish, prioritizing the desires, like the not at all pressing wants of your external family, of like your parents or your siblings, aunties, etc., prioritizing them and just their desire to see your baby the day it's born over your partner who has asked you for one simple task is horrible. Like, that's an unforgivable thing to do. How dare you? How dare you do that? And to his family too. You were informed about this, or supposedly. Supposedly, they knew that this birth was horrific and that she didn't want visitors. And they still showed up anyway because they think that them seeing the baby the day the baby is born is the most important thing in the world. Who cares about the mother's health? Who cares about what she wants? Her job is done now. She's given birth. We don't give a fuck. We just want to see the grandbaby. Hell, all of you. Oh my God. Holy shit. How dare you? How dare you do that to someone?
And to this day, I am still the bad guy because I tried to take that time away from them and keep the grandbaby from them rather than being allowed time to heal and process and deal with everything that had happened during the damn birth where I nearly bled out. My daughter was born with an Apgar of 4 in my own bedroom.
Murderous rage. Making her into the bad guy too. Murderous rage in my entire body. Oh my God. Oh my God. Some people are just truly so selfish. And like, I cannot even begin to comprehend the thoughts that go on in the heads of people who think like this and who act like this. The lowest parts of hell.
Things went so well. I was admitted to the hospital days after she was born due to a pretty serious infection. Essentially an apology from my ex-husband. He let her babysit, and she did exactly that to me and would not bring the baby to me. No one would bring me the baby. So I was days postpartum. Sorry. Days postpartum, and no one would bring me the baby. I was sitting alone in a hospital. My ex-husband wouldn't bring the baby up. My ex-mother-in-law would not bring the baby. My own mother would not bring the baby. So it wasn't until I begged and pleaded for someone to bring my own baby to me when I was literally days postpartum. And I still fully believe that was because I had asked for just a little bit of time to recover. But hey, look at them. They got that alone time with the baby that they really, really wanted while I was hospitalized.
Her own mother, too. Oh my god. Oh my god. Murderous rage coursing through my veins. Being hospitalized after giving birth, and then you don't bring her the baby. Her own mother didn't bring her the baby. Her husband, the father of her child, did not bring her the baby. No one brought her baby while she is alone in hospital after just giving birth. To punish her for asking for time to recover. How horrible do you have to be for that? I am so very glad this is an ex-husband. I am so very glad that I would imagine this was the end of their marriage. And yeah, deservedly so. He sounds horrible, so unbelievably selfish, and I'm so glad that she left his ass. I'm so glad that she is no longer married to this man who very clearly did not care about her, did not prioritize her at all, because she deserves better. Throw the whole fucking dad away. Oh my god, I'm so glad you did, because he does not deserve you or your kids at all. Jesus Christ. After this, I encountered this trend of women who are birthing alone or just like talking about their birth stories because their partners are terrible. They aren't there for a multitude of reasons, and it's horrible and it's heartbreaking. Now, it was good to see that more videos under this sound were just like videos of being like, I can't participate in this trend because this is how my husband held me after childbirth. I can't participate in this trend because my husband is loving and supportive, which is great. And I love to see it. But then you think about it for a second and you're like, wow, it's kind of sad that posting about being loved by our partners is like a flex instead of just a common accepted fact. Like having to be on the internet to be like, look, my husband actually loves me. I'm so lucky I have a husband that loves me. Like, that shouldn't be like lucky. That should be what's normal. The fact that it is such a flex to be like, my husband loves me, aren't I lucky? And having the comments be like, oh my god, I wish I had a man like that. Oh my god, that's so wonderful. It's like, that's what everyone should have. And it's really sad that the standard for men isn't hugging you after you give birth. You know what I mean? But I digress. I did find one that was birthing all alone because my boyfriend was off cheating on me, which, girl, I'm so sorry. Oh my god. It's horrible. And there was so much of this. Like, I went into the comments of this, and I'm going to give you a bunch of examples from the comments on this TikTok because Jesus Christ. So, some comments are, he was in the bathroom doing stuff over FaceTime with his ex while I was cut open on the table bleeding. He was too busy lying to me about screwing other girls my entire pregnancy. He was messaging other girls on the couch while I labored in the tub alone. My boyfriend left the hospital right after our daughter was born to cheat on me. Oh my god! I so hope that all of these women left because these men do not deserve you. They do not deserve their children. They do not deserve to be fathers. This is just like such a fucked up thing to do. Like, it's bad enough to cheat on someone at any given time, but cheating on them literally while they are giving birth to your child? Death. Like, oh my god. Throw him away. Kick him to the curb. I hope you left his ass in the fucking dust. Far too many people don't, but he really deserves it. Please leave him as far away as you can. There are a couple others in this comment section too that are not being cheated on, but are... And that is, mine was on the phone complaining to his friends that he had to be there and how upset he was that she wasn't born on 4/20. That's the most childish thing I've ever heard. Being on the phone to his friends while you're giving birth and complaining about having to be at the birth of your own child. And then on top of that, complaining your child wasn't born on 4/20. Are you 12 years old? Bro, grow up. Oh my God. And complaining that you have to be there. You don't deserve to be there. You don't deserve to be there, actually. If you don't want to be there, leave and don't come back. That's what I say. Because, girl, I hope that you did leave him. He doesn't deserve you. He doesn't deserve any of this. If he doesn't want to be there, he doesn't have to be there, and you can find someone better, I promise. One of the worst ones was, I know how it feels. Mine kept leaving to get high and got his girlfriend at the time pregnant in the hospital parking lot while I was in labor. So he had 2 girlfriends, one of which was pregnant, and not just pregnant, one of which was giving birth in hospital. And at the same time, he was having sex with someone in the parking lot of said hospital. That's unreal. Who does that? Oh my God. And the girl who agrees to that, girl, don't do that. Why are you having sex in a hospital parking lot? Go somewhere else. Anywhere else. And also, just what goes through your head to make you do this? I don't understand how your partner can be giving birth and the thing you would rather be doing is having sex with someone else at the same time. And once again, I hope you left him so fast, because who does this? This is just a terrible, horrible thing to do.
Why our husbands can't take videos and pictures of moments with us, with our babies? I have so many pictures of my husband with my baby, including today we went out and I took such a cute pictures and videos of them, but I realized that I don't have any of me with my baby, and all the pictures I have with my baby is just selfies. I don't know why I'm crying. It's maybe stupid, but all the moments, I recorded my husband 10 minutes after our baby was born, and he was holding her, he was crying. It's such a cute moment. I don't have any videos or pictures of me giving birth. Today we had such a cute day, and looking through pictures, and I have pictures of them, but I have none of me. Why just husbands don't do it? Why don't they take a phone and take a picture or video of the moment like we do? It just upsets me so much.
I absolutely do not think this is stupid at all. This is such a valid thing to be upset about. It's that thing of people take photos of the things they love. They take photos of the things they want to remember. And you love your husband, you love your baby, you want to remember those things. You want to have those moments captured. You want to look back at that. You want to remember these moments. Remember what your baby looked like. Remember what your husband looked like. Remember them together. If it's a moment that makes you happy and fills you with love, it's a natural thing to want to take a photo. And then because you take photos of things that you love, when that isn't returned and photos aren't being taken of you, obviously then you are going to feel unloved. You're going to feel like, my husband doesn't love me enough to want to take photos. He doesn't want to remember this time with me. He doesn't think this moment and memory is important enough to capture. You don't have any photos of those moments, and that is upsetting. That's so upsetting, and it's so valid. And yes, you can ask for photos to be taken, but a lot of the time people will then complain about having to take photos and how annoying it is, or they'll grumble about it, and sometimes you don't want to really put up with that. And also, I understand you don't feel like you should have to ask. Your husband never asks you to take photos of him. You just want to because you love him. So you'd feel like you don't have to ask, and he should just do it because he loves you. And especially if he is aware that you are taking so many photos and so many videos, and he is looking at them and he is enjoying them, then you would expect that to be reciprocated. If you are constantly taking photos of him doing things, then he should also be taking them of you, because he can see that it makes you happy and that you like to keep photos. And so I feel like, yes, it's good to communicate things, but sometimes things should just be understood based on our actions as well. This is something that truly is so common. Like she said, why do our husbands not do this? Because this is a common thing. So often it is so many photos of kids with their dads. You don't have as many of them with their moms. And I noticed this growing up of There are so many photos of me and my sister. There are so many photos of us without dad, but there are very few of my mom. And I was always really confused by it. I'm like, why do we not have very many photos of you? And she's like, I'm the one who's always taking the photos. I didn't really understand the significance of that at the time, because as a kid, I thought that she just liked taking photos. And then I realized later that it's like, no, my dad just never took that initiative. My dad never took the photos. He never took the videos. And that's upsetting, because then my mom misses out on so many memories that my dad will always have. Especially when like my relationship with my mom is much, much closer as well. And it's also interesting how like, you know, as I got older, I started taking photos of my mom. Like I have a lot of photos of my mom with my sister. Like I love taking photos of the people that I love. And it's so, I can't personally understand being in a situation where you don't want to take photos of a person that you love, especially if they are taking photos of you. And especially if you know that that is something that means something to them. And I'm sure this has probably been a conversation before. And like, I also know that a lot of the time when these conversations are brought up, gaslighting happens. Like she's crying right now and she's like, I don't know if this is stupid. And I fear that she may bring this up with her husband and he will call her stupid. He will say she's overreacting, that it's not that big of a deal. I feel like gaslighting could so easily come into this, and it so often does come into it. And I can't speak on her relationship. Like maybe she does need to have a conversation and it'll be resolved and there'll be a peaceful, resounding like understanding and she will get more photos. But I do understand the upset, and I do understand just kind of wishing he would pay attention and notice that. So I can't really say this is a throw your man to the curb kind of thing, but it potentially could be. It all depends on like the full scope of the circumstances, what conversations have been had, etc. This is definitely like the core of something that could lead into something bigger as well, you know, because it's showing a lack of understanding and a lack of care and a lack of love there. This is a nurse saying shocking things dads have said during childbirth, and I'm going to read them all out and we are going to be horrified together. Does it really hurt that bad? That's never going to look the same again. Ha 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 ha. So how do we go about getting a paternity test while she's in the stirrup and pushing? No, she doesn't need anything for the pain. When do you think she'll have the baby? Because I'm really hungry and need to go grab some food. Why is it taking so long? Yawn, my back hurts so much from sleeping on that chair while her epidural is only working on one side. Are you really trying your hardest? While she is pushing and throwing up. The dad who literally doesn't talk and he's just on his phone. Can you be a little more quiet? You're being too loud. I can't hold your hand right now. I need to take this call. I'll be right back. I am not going to hold her leg. Can you put in an extra stitch for me? It shouldn't be that hard. If a man says any of this, he should immediately be kicked out of the room. And also the custody should 100% be handed over to the mother right there on the spot. Like, I know sometimes most of the time, these women stay with these men and like laugh it off or whatever. But I think ultimately what should happen is that the men should be removed from the room. And a conversation after she's finished giving birth and is in a better place should be had of like, hey, what he just said was completely inappropriate. Are you doing okay? Do you need anything? Do you need any support? And we can give you 100% custody of the baby and get child support sorted out immediately on the spot. No court case needed. We'll just have that for you. Because what the fuck? How are you saying that during the childbirth? How are you thinking the complete invalidation of your partner's like feelings and experience is unreal. It's evil, actually. The disrespect is fucking disgusting. It's horrifying. And it's like, it's so dehumanizing and it's so hateful to just be like, no, I'm deciding that my wife isn't in pain and she doesn't need any pain meds. No, I just think that it shouldn't be that hard, you know? It's taking too long. You're too loud. Like, I don't want to help out. This is an easy thing for women to do. And like, also, can you make this so it benefits me more? Can you just violate her body a little bit just for me? I just don't know how you can direct all of this to someone that you are meant to love. Like this is the person you are meant to love like more than anyone, and your child, like you are directing this at your child as well. You are making this into such a minor thing. If you are this disrespectful to your partner in this situation, like I cannot imagine how you will be as a father. Like, these are not the type of men who should be fathers. They are not the type of men who should be partners. And so many women just tolerate it because they think that it's haha funny and okay. And these women are going to feel disrespected, but they are going to laugh it off anyway because they think that this is what they deserve. They think that this is what a partnership looks like. It is not. This is not what a partnership looks like. You should be able to love and trust and rely on your partner. Your partner should want to be with you during this experience. They should be validating you. They should be comforting you. They should be holding your hand. They should be helping out. They should be doing whatever they can to make this experience the easiest it can be for you and to make you feel loved and supported during it and throughout it. And if they aren't doing that, they aren't worth your time. If a man is saying any of this during your childbirth, say it with me, throw the whole man away. Throw him away. Find someone better. You'll honestly be better off by yourself than you would be with this man. And I believe that 100% because he doesn't respect you and he never will. When someone says they experienced postpartum rage, but I rolled around on the floor screaming that I hated my husband and wanted a divorce because he was playing a game on his phone. Now, I don't know if this is a popular opinion or not. I don't know if I'm like informed enough on this or whatever, but so many of these postpartum rage stories that I have read seem valid to me. Like, this may be a bit of an it might be a bit over the top, like screaming that you hate him and like threatening a divorce and whatever. But at the same time, like, I kind of get it. When you are postpartum, your hormones are horrific. They fuck with your head. It fucks with your head so bad. Like, you are not in a very good emotional state. Not only is your brain all fucked up and your emotions completely out of whack, but your body is in a terrible state as well. You have just gone through intense bodily trauma and it impacts literally every part of you. You have just gone through something so extreme. Your body has just done something so extreme. And what you need is the love and support of a partner who is attentive, who listens, who talks, who lets you stay in bed, who watches the baby when you aren't able to, which might be the whole time, to be honest, during this period. I don't know the story of your birth. I don't know the rest of the situation, the context here. But if your partner is going on his phone and it is then leading you to have this reaction, I can almost guarantee that he has picked up his phone to start playing a game in a moment where you need him, in a moment where perhaps you have asked him to help you and he's like, I just need a break. But you need the break more, likely, is that like your body is physically incapable of doing a thing that you might need to be doing. You need the help. You can't take a break because you are having to heal, and that is using all of the energy your body can possibly muster. You cannot do another thing. When you have given birth and your body is going through that, nothing is a break because healing uses energy and it takes everything from you. Your husband isn't going through that, right? And so like, if your response to him picking up his phone to play on a game is to yell at him and to scream that you want a divorce and that you hate him, like, sure, that's not a great thing to say. And in other circumstances would be, manipulative and like not a good thing to be threatening with. But in this circumstance, I kind of understand how your brain gets there because of the vulnerability and the emotional state that you were in. I think that it comes from a place of feeling like you don't have support in this new role and when you are in this position. And I think that that's the thing with a lot of this postpartum rage stuff I see is that like, and I've seen a few people have this conversation of like a lot of the people who have partners who are fully supportive do not go through this to this degree. They are not yelling at their partners like this. They are not saying they hate them. They are not yelling at them or saying they want a divorce because their partners are attentive and there's nothing they can really get mad at them for. They have that support. And I fear, because she's making this TikTok now, I wonder if this man has been holding it above her head. Like, do you remember that time you said this to me? Or like, call her crazy, told her to calm down, that sort of thing. Like, I just feel like a lot of the time with stories like this, we are missing out on a lot of the conversation. And we need more context to be able to properly have this conversation. But with the information that I have and with assumptions I can make based off of other stories I have seen, I can't say you are 100% in the wrong here. And I don't think you need to feel as guilty as you do. Then we have a couple of Reddit posts that I found that read, "My husband and I have beautiful 3.5-month-old twins, and they are such a joy. My problem lately has been having the exact same conversation with my husband literally every single day. For context, we play man-to-man defense, so we each take a baby for 24 hours and then switch. He will feed his baby and put him down. If baby starts crying, he will ask me what's wrong. I suggest seeing if he needs burped or is he still hungry. If he is hungry, he will ask me how much he should feed him. Every single day. I asked if he could try to take initiative and be a little more independent in that specific scenario. He is fully capable. I trust him. He was totally fine when I got hospitalized overnight for my gallbladder 7 weeks postpartum. He took this conversation as me wanting to sever our lines of communication. He believes I think he is dumb and asking dumb questions. He said he is too scared to ask me about anything about the babies now. I don't know what the fuck to do anymore. In this specific scenario, I feel like sometimes I have 3 kids instead of a husband. Outside of the scenario, he is a kind, loving husband, a genuinely wonderful man. But this is driving me crazy. What do I do?" If you have to parent your husband too, it truly would just be easier to do it alone. And I know this story ends with like, he's usually a great husband and he's usually supportive, but like, oh my God, this must be so infuriating. And it does feel like weaponized incompetence, right? It's being like, you know how to care for the babies better. I'm just gonna come bother you and poke and prod you and be like, how do I fix the baby? How do I look after the baby? Help me look after the baby. But he's fine when he's by himself. So basically, when you're in the house, he doesn't want to do it. That's your job when he's home. He doesn't want to do it. He doesn't have to do it because you're there. When you're out, fine, sure. He'll look after them because he does love his kids and he'll look after them when he has to. But if he doesn't have to, then why should he? Why should he? He can just pass that over to you. If your partner doesn't take care of his kids, then he just doesn't deserve them. Like, if he doesn't take care of them and he expects you to do it, he doesn't deserve either of you. And I think that you just need to bring this up in the conversation. You need to say, like, if you don't want to look after the kid, like, if you really are incapable of using your initiative like you do when I am not here, then what are we even fucking doing here, bro? Like, if you can't do it and it's really that hard for you to know how to feed them and I have to parent you, what are we doing? Using that as like a manipulation tactic to be like, I can't even talk to you about anything anymore. Fuck off, bro. It really grinds my gears because that is a thing that I've heard from people my entire life. And it's like, oh, you didn't like that I said that? I suppose I'll never talk to you ever again. Shut up. You know that that's not the problem. Stop being a manipulative asshole. All right? Use some initiative. That's not the same thing. Keep in mind, that is a manipulation tactic. And if people are saying that to you, they need to be called out on it because that's not okay. Husband is making me hate motherhood after second baby. I'll start with saying the transition from 1 to 2 has just all around been hard. So much harder than I expected. But my husband is turning out to be such a dud of a father and husband. Baby 2 is high needs, far higher than our first was. So when it was just our oldest, it was generally easy. It was easy for me to do most of the caretaking and not have too many complaints. And quite frankly, I wanted to and loved doing it all. Now with 2, my husband is so triggered when baby 2 is fussy, which is regularly. He already hardly interacts with her. He works 60 hours a week, so sees her in the AM for maybe an hour and 30 minutes after he gets home at the end of the day. But today was my breaking point. Baby 2 was fussing and whining right when he sat down for dinner. Also a regular occurrence because it always coincides with her getting tired for bed. He snapped at her, "Stop it or you're going in the trash." He frequently says stuff like this. Could potentially be a joke, but in a tone that is certainly not funny. Also, if it is a joke, not funny. That's just not funny at all. Like, at all. He also has no patience for toddler behavior either. Generally, he is staring at his phone, ignoring the entire household, and then makes these comments. I don't know, I just feel so sad. I fell in love with him a second time after having our first because watching him fall in love with our baby was magic. But now, after watching him have baby 2, I'm falling out of love with him. I'm also starting to just hate motherhood because of this. It's emotionally taxing to watch him, and it's emotionally taxing because of all the weight of parenting well is on me. I don't have a partner. He isn't making you hate motherhood, he is making you hate him. Because he's terrible. He is a bad father. He is a bad husband. You already pointed that out, but like, he doesn't deserve a place in your life. He doesn't deserve a place in your kid's life. And you have to acknowledge and accept now that like, he wasn't a good father to your first kid. You were a good mother and he was just there. The baby didn't need anything from him. So he was just there. He developed a connection with this baby and he spent time with this baby when he had the time, but not to do any actual caretaking, just to exist in his presence. And now there's a baby that actually needs him to be a father and he doesn't want to do it. He wasn't a good father. He just like existed there and didn't get mad. And now he's just showing that he is genuinely a bad father and he is threatening to harm your child. And that is not okay. And honestly, after the first time he said that, I would have fucking left. But unfortunately, I'm gathering from this post, he works 60 hours a week and I assume she is a stay-at-home mom because of that. So obviously she's in a position where it's really difficult to leave. And I think that a lot of these mothers find themselves in similar positions where like a one-parent household is incredibly difficult to maintain. Like that is so hard. Being a single parent is so difficult, especially if you don't have a job, especially if you don't have much work experience. I don't know her story, but I really hope that she is able to find people to help her get out of this. I hope that she has a good support network. She can go live with her parents. She can go live with a friend for a bit while she sorts shit out. This man, throw him away. Like, kick him out of the house. I don't know the setup. All I know is that you need to get the fuck out because he doesn't deserve you. He doesn't deserve these kids. He's never been a good father and he is a shitty husband. We are going to end with one that is not about babies. This is a street interview from, I think I saw this for the first time like a year ago, maybe 2 years ago. The passage of time is insane, so I have no idea. But it's relevant to this. And I wanted to share it. You've probably already seen it, but we're going to talk about it anyway.
What is your son's birthday?
No, that's a good one. That's a really good one, because I don't know.
You really don't know his
No,
birthday?
I don't know his birthday.
What are your daughter's birthdays?
Why do you do this to me?
What about her?
I give up.
Any guesses?
Oh yeah, yesterday! Horrible.
Her birthday was yesterday and you
Just
forgot
yesterday.
What do you mean you don't know your kids' birthdays? That should be like one of the most important days of your entire life. That should be like the most memorable day of your entire life. Not even knowing the year? You don't know what year your child was born. You don't know your kid's birthday. That's absurd. What do you mean? You can forget the birthday of a great many people. I'm not great with dates, but I would know the birthday of my child. I know the birthdays of like my best friends, my parents, and my sister. No other birthdays matter as much as that, you know? How do you forget the date of your child? That is a life-changing day, and you just don't know it?
What color are your daughter's eyes?
Brown.
All right, let's look. That is incorrect.
They're blue. I have a brown-eyed daughter, though.
What is your daughter's birthday?
May 17th. Oh, no, it's the 14th, and I don't know what year.
Not knowing the color of your child's eyes. You don't look at your child's face. You don't know the color of your kid. I have a brown-eyed daughter, though. That is so irrelevant. What do you mean? That, what? What?
Can you name your daughter's teacher?
Mrs. Jones.
Nope.
Mrs. Moore. It's not Moore?
Nope. That was my elementary school teacher.
Can you name their teachers?
Of course I cannot.
Not knowing your kid's teacher's name, I get when they're like in high school and have a bunch of teachers. I don't think neither of my parents could name really any of my teachers from high school because I'm not coming home and talking about my teachers from high school. They're not going and meeting my teachers. That's not a thing. Maybe it is in the US. I don't know. But my primary school teachers, you should definitely know. You should definitely be involved when your child has like one teacher. You should absolutely know who that is.
What's the name of your daughter's school?
Ash Creek Elementary School?
No,
River Creek?
no,
Something Creek.
no.
Can you name the best friend of each of your daughters?
Mari Carmen Rojas, Jimena Lopez, Adamari Lopez, Cristina Cornejo.
Good. What are your daughter's birthdays?
Yes, May 28, 2009, August 8, 2013, February 24, 2006, June 5, 2006.
This is just so sad. And everyone's laughing. Everyone's like, that's hilarious. Dad's so funny, silly old dads. They don't know anything. How dumb of them. It's not funny. It's just really sad. It's just astounding to me that this is like a normal thing, that this is a funny thing. Like he doesn't know what school his kids go to. You've never like picked them up or dropped them off or like looked at a report card or a newsletter or anything. Nothing. What are you here for? Why are you even here? Like, you just like leave. Honestly, mothers, all of you deserve someone more attentive and someone who actually cares about your kids and pays attention to them and their lives, because this is genuinely unacceptable. Like, it's so upsetting. And these kids finding out that their dad doesn't even know what their eyes look like, their dad doesn't know what school they go to, what their birthday is, that would suck. I would feel so hurt by that, because what do you mean? Yeah, anyway, throw the whole dad away. Absolutely. Those kids deserve better dads. They deserve dads who actually genuinely care about them and want to spend time with them and put effort into them, not just, be an adult that's around. This has been my video. I hope that you have enjoyed. If you have, please don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Over 50% of you are regular viewers, but are not subscribed. So even if you think that you are, because you see me on your page all the time, you may not be. So do check that out and hit subscribe, because it means a lot and I would love to see you more often. A massive thank you to my Sprout and Above patrons whose names are up on the screen right now. I appreciate you greatly. And a huge thank you to my Kiwi Cat patrons. M.A. Ping the Games, Blue Kitsune 24, Ash, Uh-Oh It's Craiglow, Phil the Duck, Jessie, Phenomenally, River, Mr. Noodle, Queen Glimmer, Ella, Lady Nutbar, Radsack, Knitting Menace, Chris, Ellie, and Bobby. I appreciate you so much. Thank you so much for joining. If anyone else would like to go on Patreon, you go to patreon.com/savvycat or click the top link in the description. For as little as £1 a month, you get my videos a day early, and then for £3 and up, you get things such as outtakes, bonus mini podcasts, live streams, vlogs, homemade bracelets, and more. And from the 14th of January until the 21st of January, you can get 25% off using birthday25 all caps to celebrate my 25th birthday. So don't forget that. Please don't forget to check that out. Patreon.com/savvycat. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram, The Queer Kiwi, and Twitter, That Queer Kiwi. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Stay safe. Keep fighting. I love you. Mwah. When you close your eyes, you replay